Hey everyone, it's Drayton from ScaleTrains.com. I'm here at the Scale Trains headquarters in Benton, Tennessee. A lot of really exciting things are going on here at our headquarters. The last 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy. I just got back from a 2-week road trip with the one and only Shane Wilson. We had a great time on the road. We visited 2 world's greatest hobby shows, one in Chantilly, Virginia, and one in Hampton, Virginia. But along the way, we visited with several different model railroad clubs in the great states of Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. On our first day of our road trip tour, we stopped in the great city of Roanoke, Virginia, to visit with the Norfolk and Western Railway Historical Society. You know, without historical societies like the NNWHS, we simply wouldn't be able to do what we do as a manufacturer at the rivet counter and museum quality level. The countless drawings and historic photographs that these organizations preserve really help us as a manufacturer determine railroad, road number, and era-specific details. Let's learn a little bit more about the NNWHS.
Welcome to the Norfolk and Western Historical Society Archives here in Roanoke, Virginia. You know, this place is absolutely unbelievable. As you can see behind me, there are literally thousands upon thousands of drawings inside these drawers. Without this information, we wouldn't be able to bring you the best railroad, road number, and era-specific models possible. Let's hear a little bit about the archives from Ken.
This is a good example of some of the things we provide. Here's a set of prints. And this is not all that the person has ordered, but he is building a Virginian box cab electric. I'm not sure of the scale, but these drawings are part of a large order he has put in, and he is in Switzerland.
I'm Ken Miller. We want to welcome Scale Trains to the NNW Historical Society. Scale Trains is always good because they don't expect everything for free. It costs money to maintain this building. Cost money to keep the lights on, pay the insurance, keep the water out. Scale Trains values their accuracy, their track record, and their reputation. And by doing it right, you sell a better product, you sell more of it, and people are happier with it.
We've been blessed to have a relationship with the NWHS since the beginning of our company. We made our first trip here in October of 2014 on our way to Altoona, Pennsylvania. That trip, of course, was to document the Norfolk Southern SD40-2 Admiral cab. But there were also some other things we were working on that trip, and it's led to even more. The Dash 9, the SD45, and some other things that we're not quite ready to talk about yet. We've received things like paint and lettering diagrams, even the numerals and how they're shaped. We've got the exact drawings to make sure that the models are accurate. We even have things like builder's drawings. There's mechanical drawings and countless other treasures that we've used to help create the best models possible.
Thanks for the visit. We really enjoyed ourselves. After stopping at the Historical Society, we went over to the Virginia Museum of Transportation to check out the Roanoke Valley Model Railroad Club. Now, what makes this club unique is the variety of layouts from HO, N, S, and traditional O gauge. While we were there, we shared our Scale Trains story from how the company was founded to where we are today. We also presented a video on how model trains are made. Now, this video is part 2, and it covers from when a locomotive and research packet are announced to when they are delivered to your doorstep. Now, that's part 2. Part 1 comes later this year when we announce our all-new HO scale rivet counter locomotive. We're really excited and aren't quite ready to release that video yet, so stay tuned. Part 2 premieres later this spring, so if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you ring the notification bell so that you get first notice when we upload How Model Trains Are Made Part 2. After visiting with the Roanoke Valley Club, we headed up to the Washington, D.C. area. We set up for the world's greatest hobby show in Chantilly, Virginia. Friday night was a great night. We visited the Northern Virginia Model Railroaders in Vienna, and my goodness, this layout is one of the most detailed and organized layouts that I personally have ever seen. This club has actually been around since the 1940s, but they relocated in the 1970s to the current building that they're in. It's an incredible layout, and it covers the Southern Railway system in the transition era, going west out of Salisbury, North Carolina. absolutely incredible. And as someone who's actually visited that line in real life, it was amazing to see how detailed and how prototypically accurate all of the towns, sidings, depots, and yards were on that layout. They even have a working trolley car system. Take a look. So we are in Vienna, Virginia, at the Northern Virginia Model Railroaders Club. This is inside an old depot, and it is just unbelievable. This layout, how would you describe this layout? Like,
they use the space very efficiently. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't see from the public space.
it's pretty incredible, and these guys...
And the thing is that a lot of people don't get to see even the visible parts of the layout, because you have that's the reason why the first two sections of the layout are really super detailed.
I would call it Alice in Wonderland. It's like going down the rabbit hole. It just keeps going and going.
I feel like I'm in a McDonald's play place. I feel like I'm a kid again. Let's go down to this level. And this is what's all underneath the hood. And they were showing us earlier, I'm going to step up here. They were showing us earlier all of the relays and the wiring, and it's just incredible. So everything here is labeled, every single wire, everything is completely organized. All the relays, all the equipment down here, it's absolutely incredible. One of the most organized, just from an operations standpoint, layout that I've ever seen. And it really is. It's like being in a jungle gym. I'm going to come out over here just to show everybody the layout from the bottom. Some of the club members all hanging out with us. Thanks for having us, guys.
Remember I told you about the station that this was originally in? And so this is the actual building that the old layout was in?
The model of our model.
And that was the model of the old layout that was in the Southern Railroad yards, where I think this was 1940 something.
Wow. So that's the original layout.
That's the original layout that was in the Southern Railroad yards in Alexandria before.
A model of a model railroad. After another exciting meet and greet event at the Northern Virginia Model Railroad Club in Vienna, we spent the weekend in Chantilly at the World's Greatest Hobby on tour. We met a lot of folks who are just getting into the hobby and really enjoyed being able to share our products and our story with them.
Welcome to the 2020 World's Greatest Hobby Show here in Chantilly, Virginia. This is our first time with ScaleTrains.com. And it's been an amazing weekend. Saturday was jam-packed. Sunday's been really steady. As you can see, we've got all of our models out on display. So questions this weekend, there's been a ton, of course, like when's your next museum quality locomotive? Are you working on steam? How about your first 4-axle? Answered all those are yes. Also showing a lot of new products. Of course, the backpacker with the new container with the logo plates on the sides, and then all of our other products. So good assortment, and we'll have all those with us as we travel this week. So we just wrapped up our weekend in Chantilly, Virginia at the World's Greatest Hobby Show, and now we're on the road to see what kind of action we can find on the CSX. We had a lot of fun this weekend meeting a lot of our customers and introducing folks to our brand who had never heard about us. We hope if you had a chance to drop by, you had as much fun as we did. So Drayton wants me to be a real foamer, and I guess I will. So I was a real fan of Don Ball Jr., and when I was a little boy, I had a hardback book that I've literally worn out, and the pages are all falling out. I still have the book, and one of the coolest photos I can remember as a kid is right here at the Point of Rocks station here in Maryland. Always one of those things to check off my bucket list, and here it is today. Awesome, beautiful old station. Really wish I could have seen it in its heyday.
After catching the Capital Limited at Point of Rocks, Maryland, we would continue west and then north into West Virginia and then Pennsylvania. Shenandoah Junction is a great place to watch trains on both Norfolk Southern and CSX. Shane and I enjoyed watching this eclectic Norfolk Southern train continue north over the junction. It's always strange to see such a mixed freight like this, but we enjoyed the variety. After shooting Norfolk Southern, we would continue north to Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's a beautiful historic town that has an incredible railroad history. The roundhouses and shops were built in 1866. In fact, this roundhouse is the oldest of its kind still in existence today, and played a role in the 1870s railroad strikes on the Baltimore and Ohio. After looking at the roundhouse and shops, we would continue into Pennsylvania to visit the Waynesboro Model Railroad Club. Now this club is really interesting because it's located inside an old grain mill. And it's also pretty cool because they have an HO, N-scale, O2 rail, and a standard O3 rail layout. Really, really cool. Lots of variety on this club layout. It was really cool to meet a lot of older members and a lot of younger members. There's a very healthy membership body at this club, and they were fantastic hosts. We met a young model railroader by the name of Everett who had a plethora of Union Pacific scale trains locomotives that he ran around the layout for us. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the Waynesboro Model Railroad Club here in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Tonight we had an opportunity to visit with members and other folks from the area, share a little bit about scaletrains.com, shows a video about how model trains are made, which will be coming soon to our YouTube page, and of course answer a ton of questions. And hopefully if you're from this area, you've had a chance to stop in and see the club. If you haven't, you can of course go to their website, which is waynesboromrrc.com, and you can also go to their Facebook page. And we'll also take you on a little bit of a tour. Everett has some locomotives out tonight, and we'll show you what it looks like with some run-bys.
Hey everybody, I'm here at the Waynesboro Model Railroad Club in the great state of Pennsylvania. I'm hanging out here with my new friend, Everett. Everett, tell me a little bit about this club. When did you become a member here?
Well, I became a member a couple years ago. It wasn't too long ago, and there wasn't much of a base, and we've kind of built it over the years, and I love the community that we've built now, that we've got club members, all the new members. I just love everybody here, and that it's a great club with the scenery and everything, and it's great to run these modern locomotives on here.
And that's my next question. What locomotives do we have on the layout today?
All right, we got a Union Pacific Tier 4 Devo and a Union Pacific -9.
What is it about rivet counter locomotives that you love the most?
I love everything about it. The sound sounds like exactly like the locomotive, and the detail goes outrageously good.
How on earth does somebody in Pennsylvania end up modeling Union Pacific?
Well, with American flags like the GVOs and SD70s, make me feel like more American, and that it makes it more seem that it's America.
Love it, love it. Well, we're gonna pull the train out. Everett's let me run the train around the layout today. This is a pretty incredible layout. We'll show a little bit of the layout off. Pretty cool to see his Union Pacific locomotives running around tonight. And that's one of the things that I personally really enjoy, is being able to show rivet counter locomotives on layouts that have a lot of detail. And while this layout is basically set in the 1950s, the detail and the scenery around certainly add to the experience. One of the neat things is this layout is actually located inside an old grain elevator along, it's former Reading, right?
I think, yeah.
Former Reading Railroad. We just had a meet and greet event tonight here with some of the club members. It almost looks like you're out west on this section of the layout. Really, really cool. These guys have put a lot of time and effort into building this layout over the years, and the cool thing is there's a railroad that runs right outside of it. So the train's gonna go through the mountain, and here's one of the scenes, and as you can see, here is the rest of the enormous layout. In the bottom right, you can see a drive-in movie theater. There's a coal mine, a power plant, a gravel pit, a huge railroad yard. This is one of my favorite scenes on the layout, the power plant. Club members shared a little bit with us earlier tonight about how eventually they're going to do some operating sessions. They've been working really hard to get to that point. Slow the train down just a little bit so we can get a good view of this scene. I love the power lines too. We had a great time at the Waynesboro Model Railroad Club, but it was time for us to head to our next stop.
So we're at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, and if you've never been here and you're a railroad fan, this has got to be on your bucket list. As you can see behind me is a beautifully restored Pennsy GG1, and that's just the tip of the iceberg that's here. A lot of old equipment that's in great shape. It's all been repainted here inside the building. Excellent displays. I mean, these are the best museum displays that I've seen. They rank right up there with things you'd see at the Smithsonian. You know, it's really worth your time, and unfortunately we've only had about an hour and a half here. I wish we'd have had all day, and if you're ever in the Strasburg, Pennsylvania area, we're right across from Strasburg Railroad. The museum is across the street, and of course there's all kinds of train-related attractions. This is a must-do if you're ever in this area.
One of my absolute favorite things about the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania are all of the interactive exhibits. This one in particular is really cool to me. We were able to go down into a drop pit under this vintage steam locomotive and really be able to get up close and personal with the locomotive and its parts. And what's really neat is all of the parts are numbered. So you've got a little diagram here, and you can look at the diagram and the number, and then you can look up and find the number. It's almost like a Where's Waldo type exhibit, but then it explains what all of the parts on the locomotive do, how they function, and how they benefit the locomotive as it travels down the rails. Really cool, really interactive. And that's the thing, when it comes to steam locomotives can get pretty complicated, so this was really neat to see. Definitely my favorite exhibit. You've also got this dispatcher's panel and the beautiful color position light from the Pennsylvania Railroad right next to locomotive number 460, which actually has gold leaf lettering on the cab.
And, you know, it takes a moment to reflect and really talk about one of the core values of our company, and that's giving back. And after coming to a museum like this, you realize how important that is. You know, when you watch the young people walk through here and how big their eyes get, how much amazement that they have, these relics, you know, could rust away. And it's awesome having a museum like this that's taking such great care of these pieces of time.
After visiting the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, we spent some time on the Northeast Corridor and even shot in a Sella train, but it was just too fast to capture. We visited the Bowie Railroad Museum just outside of Baltimore, which has an interlocking tower and a historic caboose. We also shot some trains on CSX and, yes, saw an abundance of GEVO locomotives.
It's a GEVO!
Seriously, Shane? Another GEVO?
Another GEVO? That's a load of trash.
after capturing this long freight train on CSX, we continued south to the Severna Park layout. We were in for one awesome treat. Now this club is truly spectacular. It's one of the most detailed model railroads that we've ever been to. This club has been around since the mid-1960s, and boy, it was so cool to visit this club. It's standard DC, but unbelievable the way that the operations work.
Welcome to the Severna Park Model Railroad Club here in Severna Park, Maryland. What an awesome club and an old train depot. This layout's been around for many years and the craftsmanship here is absolutely unbelievable. The railroad behind me, every structure except for two is scratch built. And when you look inside the windows, when you're looking in the city, all of the patrons are inside at the hotel, at the restaurant. There's even a pool table in the hotel. There's things where you can load and unload coal. And of course, believe it or not, this railroad's still DC. And there's operations here on a regular basis. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a member of the club, you can visit their website or their Facebook page. And they're here every Thursday night if you want to drop in and just take a look at the railroad, meet the members, and see if this is a place you'd like to join. Also, they do open houses twice a year. And you can learn more about those on their website and Facebook page as well. We certainly appreciate the club's hospitality. We had a great time here tonight. Awesome railroad, a great must-see if you're in the area.
So for me personally, one of my favorite features of the Severna Park layout is this ore dock loadout. It's really interesting because you actually take the train cars down a very steep incline and then you stop there and the rotary dumper actually will dump the coal into the ship. Really cool. And just the absolute detail of this layout. All of the buildings are intricately designed. Beautiful work on this layout. This club is really small though, so we had everyone jam-packed in real tight. I actually had to sit on the floor during our presentation because there was just not enough room left. These guys were great hosts. These guys also had a wonderful sense of humor. We loved sharing our story with them and had a lot of great questions. So after visiting with our friends at Severna Park just outside of Baltimore, Maryland, we dipped back down into Virginia. Our next stop was Yorktown, Virginia, but before we made our way there to visit the next model railroad club, Shane and I just had to get our 15 seconds of fame on the virtual railfan Ashland camp.
Like trains!
Yeah, that's us, holding up the Scale Trains banner. What can we say? We just had to have a little bit of fun. Shout out to our friends over at Virtual Railfan. We love what you guys do. We continued on our journey south for the next WGH show that would be in Hampton, Virginia, but before we went there, we stopped at the Chesapeake Bay and Western Model Railroad Club, which happens to be the largest model railroad club in the state of Virginia. We had a fantastic time at this club, and it was incredible seeing all of the members running ScaleTrains.com locomotives and unit trains. One of the members had an incredible Scale Trains tank train. Absolutely amazing to see the variety of Scale Trains locomotives on this layout. We shared our story with somewhere around 60 club members and guests from the community. It was truly spectacular, and we had a lot of great questions in the Q&A session afterwards. Let's learn a little bit more about the club and hear from Shane about his experience.
Welcome to the Chesapeake Bay and Western Club here in Yorktown, Virginia. I gotta tell you, this club is incredible and a must-see if you're ever in this area. There's a ton of main line running. There's two levels. There's a downstairs and an upstairs. As you can see behind me, there's a monster yard. There's one downstairs, and the club members are fantastic. We've had a great time. There's probably close to 40, 50 people here tonight. Everybody's been super. And one of the coolest things, and I gotta tell you, one of the most humbling things as an owner of the company, is to turn around and see all the equipment that the members have at this club that we brought to market. It's so exciting to actually come and really see our product, what I like to call out in the wild. And we certainly appreciate the club's support, their generosity, and all their help as our company grows. So if you're ever in southeastern Virginia, this is a great opportunity to drop by and see an absolutely fantastic layout. You know, when we started the company, one of the goals was earn the respect of the model railroad community and become a top-tier manufacturer within the first 5 years. And to hear the members tonight and to see how much of our equipment that they own, it seems like we've earned that opportunity to be considered one of the top manufacturers in our industry. And that is a dream come true. When we come to a club and we do a meet and greet, it's an opportunity for us to be personal. You know, we don't want to be that nameless, faceless company. We want to be someone that you can come to a show and feel comfortable talking to, asking questions, and learning more about our products and the industry. And one of the cool things that happens at a meet and greet, we share our story, how we got started, and it's nothing but short of a miracle from God that there's been so many places where we've had an opportunity to fail and we've been lifted from the ashes. And it's just an amazing story to tell. And then we also share how model trains are made. And you know, the video that we show, there's nothing like it that's ever been done before. And it goes super in depth into that process. And then of course we answer questions. And one of the cool things I like to say is there's not a question that we haven't been asked that would offend us. You know, I've been asked everything from why do we make model trains in China to how much does it cost? And we're going to give you that real answer. Sometimes it might not be the answer you want to hear, but it's always going to be the truth. And the best part is getting to see all the trains run. That's probably the most fun, and the opportunity to meet a lot of great people who enjoy our products.
Well, my name is Logan Bear. I'm 19. I've been a part of the club since I was 15. I'm currently the social media director, so all the stuff you see on Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff, that's all me. Basically, I really enjoyed tonight. Really enjoyed having scale trains out here, meeting you, meeting Shane, and learning how your trains are made and everything. Seeing all the different new products. You know, I don't really have that many scale trains products, but after tonight, I think I have to purchase some, especially, you know, some CSX products in the future. I'm really impressed, and you definitely sold me. I really want to buy some scale trains now. You know, I'd really never seen how model trains were made before, and now I know why. You know, they're very labor intensive. I learned it's not just one big machine that puts it all together. It's actually mostly done by hand, and that really surprised me. Obviously, the working conditions in China are actually really great. I see the factory's clean. All the workers were, you know, it seemed like they were enjoying their jobs. You know, it was actually a really neat look, and it's something you really don't get to see too often. To find more information on the club, our main thing is our Facebook page. Look up the Chesapeake Bay Western Model Railroad Club, or Model Railroaders on Facebook, and like our page, of course. Same thing on Instagram. It's Chesapeake Bay Western on Instagram. The website is active. There are some things on the website, but if you want the most up-to-date things, like our Facebook page and get all the updates and all the events.
After visiting the CB&W, we spent a weekend at Hampton, visiting with more folks who are just getting into the hobby. We love sharing our story, we love sharing our products, and we can't wait to get back out on the road. After spending time at the CB&W, we went to Norfolk to visit with our friends at Norfolk Southern. We're so thankful for the partnership we have with the Class 1 giant and can't wait to see what the future holds. Along the way back home, we would spend some time in Bluefield chasing a solo Gevo through the mountains as we made our way back to Tennessee.
Can't even go up a stupid hill. There he is.
Oh my gosh, it's a solo unit.
And it was a Gevo.
Another Gevo?
It It wasn't a Dash 9.
If you'd like to learn more about scale trains, locomotives, and freight cars, visit our website. It's in our name, scaletrains.com, for a complete list of all of our products. You can also stay up to date on when our product delivery schedule is, along with where our next show will be at. We love being able to meet with our customers, and we simply wouldn't be able to do what we do without your business. So from all of us at scaletrains.com, thank you for your business. Lastly, if you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the notification bell to make sure you get notified every time we upload a new video. Until next time, signing off from Benton, Tennessee, I'm Drayton Blackgrove. Happy railroading from all of us at scaletrains.com.